Good morning, everybody. It's Michael here again with your latest supply and demand market report, and this is looking at crude oil and natural gas. And we will we will start off from where we left off last week, looking at these two markets. Just before we start, just a reminder that these are purely for educational purposes. They're not solicitation to buy or sell any of these markets. My opinions are purely mine, and this is just what I think. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos if you find them useful, and share them. Okay, with that out of the way, let us look at crude oil. So we had a big week this week in crude oil. You remember we've talked about this demand level ad nauseum in these videos, and again we had the retest and we have had a strong rally this week. You can see the weekly candle was quite a strong one. It is yet to do much though. We are definitely showing strength. We haven't negotiated this supply zone that we've had in yellow for a few weeks now. We are still in the range, albeit at the upper part of the range. So it remains to be seen if this buying pressure is going to be sustained. If anything, if this range is going to continue, you're more likely to see sellers seeing this as an opportunity to do it again and short from that range, try and keep the range going in this sort of fashion. But we will have to wait and see what happens now that we've had this big push. If we do manage to get a push up, then we may be left with some decent demand. We definitely are not there yet. If we get something like that, for example, we may be able to assess and see if this quality is good enough for us to trade, blah, blah, blah. But we have that supply zone to negotiate still. It could potentially be a trap for anyone wanting to go long. If we get prices to trade above it and through it, then that will be the ideal scenario. If we do get a significant push into it, if we don't get through it, there will be some decent demand probably left behind here, which may be worth taking on a pullback. But none of that has happened yet. We are merely scenario planning as we do. So it's on our watch list. We note that, again, we are not yet falling when trying to build a base, and we don't know which side it will resolve in just yet. Time will tell. Okay, and going to natural gas. Natural gas has fallen from that supply we talked about. It's still in that yellow box we drew last week. And looking at it on the weekly, it also is at the extremes of the box that it has been in. It's gone up the week before last, and this week just ended. We've traded and closed below that week, so suggesting that we are pulling back, and we may be headed down towards these levels or even lower, depending on how far this thing wants to go. We have levels below us in a range. Obviously, in a range, the lower we go, the better, but we are not out of the woods yet. It is definitely no longer falling like we said last week, but we need to see which side it'll resolve into. Attempting to trade it right now, if you have strategies to use to trade a range, by all means, this is definitely the environment for it. If not, if you're more into trend trading, then it'll be waiting and watching for a breakout and then trying to either buy the breakout if you have a strategy to do that, or waiting for the pullback. Okay, so for now, looking on smaller time frames for opportunities to go short if you have rallies is worth doing, because you're in the upper half of this bigger, wider range, trying to get it to come all the way further down or all the way down. Yeah, but not the place to be initiating longs per se. Definitely not the way that I trade anyway. Okay, so that was that. That was under 5 minutes, I think. So yeah, that was crude oil and natural gas. If there are any other markets, energy markets, you want us to look at, I don't look at rebarb gasoline here, but I sometimes look at it for other people as well. If you wanted us to include that, by all means, just put it in the chat. Let me know. All right. Speak to you again next week, guys. Trade well and trade safe. Bye for now.